Today's meal will be the one that won me the girl. Welcome to Fit Food with the Fat Dude. My name is Brett. For those of you who don't know who I am, I wrote it out for you, just in case you don't know. And we are cooking again. Welcome. Hopefully last episode that you watched, we cooked beautiful chicken. And today, wow, this is a special meal. This one's close to my heart. Actually, it's close to many people's hearts. Now, before I get started, while I'm waiting for all you beautiful folk to join me, probably need to tell you a little bit about where I've been, my experience, and what got me to here and cooking for you on this beautiful day, beautiful winter's day, as you can see. Well, over 10 years I spent cooking in the front line of professional cookery, day in, day out. I started off at a beautiful little seafood restaurant in Brisbane, Australia, for those of you watching internationally. Peeling prawns, filleting anchovies. I know, the dreaded anchovies. And I moved my way through all different restaurants through Brisbane until I finished my apprenticeship in a 5-star hotel, one of the Hyatt chains in Sanctuary Cove. And you know what? I always had a dream. To fine dining was my go-to. It was the one thing that I wanted more than anything. I thought, if you're going to do anything, you want to do it top level. So I chased the chefs, right? As you do as a commie chef. As you do, you chase the... Can't you? Can you see me now? I'm just going to kick back and relax. Can you see me now?
That's better.
This is what happens when you're living, right? Just edit that thing, but you can't. So anyway, I chased the chefs. I found myself in Melbourne, living in Balaclava, and walking through Paran every night, and going to work and working down in St Kilda in one of the amazing restaurants, Circa the Prince. Some of you in Melbourne, that's where I spent over a year, 15 months I think it was. There I learnt some amazing things under the Michael Lambie, cooking pasta. I was on the pasta section. That was my love for pasta, making fresh pasta every day, making all the mousses every day, and just being part of an amazing brigade. All right, but love tore me away, and I chased after a girl, and I moved back to Canberra. I moved to Canberra of all places.
It wasn't me, though.
It was no. This is not where. No, we'll get to you, Sammy. And there I was. I was over at the Hyatt's signature restaurant over in the NMA, National Museum of Australia, and wow, that taught me grit and determination. If you can imagine, right, Gordon Ramsay on steroids, and used to take people, when you really wanted to get angry with someone, you'd take them into the cold room and you'd have it out in the cold room. It was that mentality. It was do or die sort of thing, right? But I fell in love with with pastry there. I fell in love with desserts. I fell in love with making everything from scratch. Everything was from scratch. The art form of pastries and sweets and desserts, right? We made our own puff pastries, we made our own sweet paste, we made our own bread, our sourdoughs, everything was from scratch. So it taught me so much, right? So much more to add to, put more feathers in my cap in the cooking, but I longed for something else. I longed for more. I longed for, really to take myself to the next level. And, after doing a good job, you've got to do a good job for the chefs, and they'll, point you in the right direction. And I wound up in Sydney at Tetsuya's. Tetsuya Wakuda, you can Google him, a world-renowned chef. French-Japanese fusion. And read his books, cooking books, and I just was like, that's where I want to be. That's where my next move is going to be. I'm going to go to Tetsuya's. So I went and did a trial there, as you do. You don't really come in with resumes and everything. It's you jump into a kitchen and you cook. And so I got the job at Tetsuya's, and wow, what I found there was technique. All right, we were doing a lot of cryovac, and we were doing a lot of slow cook, low cook. It was, everything was just exact. Precision, I believe, was the fundamental in Tetsuya's, and I spent a great amount of time in that kitchen. Some amazing friends, some amazing experiences. I actually got to travel the world. Sammy always laughs when I say that. All right, I went to Singapore. I went to travel with Tetsuya as his personal assistant. We got to cook in the Ritz-Carlton in Singapore. beautiful 6-star hotel. I also got to travel to Spain, over to Madrid with Tetsuya, just me and him. And we went to the Madrid Fusion Festival. And this is really at the time where El Bulli, Heston Blumenthal, all the molecular gastronomy was really starting to come out. Like, you can remember those days, everyone was deconstructing everything. And we also got to travel to Hawaii, and I got to cook in, if anyone's ever been to America, everyone will know Rick's, right? And I know Sammy knows Rick's, because every time I went to San Diego, they have the best seafood over there. Sammy was drinking the chili martinis, right? But anyway, I've been around, right? And I traveled there, and I also went in. I've also been around, so I'll tell you some other stories as we go sort of along. But the dish that won the girl, well, this is the dish, right? So if you want to know how me and Sammy got together, I cooked for her, and the rest is history. So, men out there, all the single.
It wasn't that easy. It was
Well,
not that easy to win over with what you're going to cook. It was just an added part dimension.
no one can actually hear what Sammy's saying, but she's thinking that she played hard to get. But I know, once I put this dish together, it was it. So here we are, right? Today's the day. 2019. So fast forward to this. We can sit back and we can talk about more stories and all that sort of stuff as we go along. But today, this is the dish that won the girl, and I believe this is such a beautiful, simple flavor, delicious, flavoursome, tantalizingly taste bud, terrific dish, and it's so easy to prepare, and it's so fresh. It's all about freshness. It's all about abundance of flavour. It's about beautiful colour. And above all, it's got to fill the gap, right? All my brothers out there, you've got to fill the gap. You got to have a hearty meal. But this is going to be a salad. We're going to do a salad today. Now, I know. I was thinking to myself, well, should we do a salad? Oh, damn it, right? Tomato salad, Caesar salad, Greek salad. What are all the salads that we've got? So this is going to be a complex salad, but I want you to give yourself permission to be free with salads, all right? Salads of experimental, okay? They're about you. They're about your personality. Let your personality shine in salads, all right? And I'm going to teach you this one today. This is going to be a Thai beef salad. This is the dish that won the girl, all right? So are we ready? Are we ready? Sammy, are we ready?
We're ready.
So here's what I want you to do. Before I jump over that side, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, if you have questions, right? If you want to know things that we're doing here as we're going, because once I get over there into the zone, I'm just like, I'm cooking. But if you have questions, just type them into the chat, right? Type them in, and Sammy's going to throw them at me, and we're going to be able to talk about it, because this is really interactive, right? If we're doing this Facebook Live, we want to make sure that you're getting the most value out of it as well. This is the experience as well, not just about eating it. And hopefully what I hope to achieve is that when you see this, do it, cook it. I want you to experience the flavor. I want you to fall in love with cooking. And I want you to fall in love with cooking that's healthy, right? Because I know how to make things very unhealthy. I know how to make things hugely flavorsome and, putting, like I said in the last episode, making things that are going to be amazing, but not necessarily good for you. And I don't want you to think that chicken and broccoli, when you're thinking of 2019, is going to be your year of change. I don't want you to think that's all you've got, right? There's so much more to life. There's so much more to food. And if you're following any sort of program, Ice Shank's program, 30 days, like really sort of thinking about simplifying and resting on things like your breakfast is covered and your dinner's covered or your lunch is covered. This is going to be your third meal, right? Think of this as your third meal, in which case you want to have an abundance of flavors, abundance of textures, of colors, everything. Remember, we eat with our eyes, then with our taste buds, and that really is the way it should go. So fall in love with what you're looking at when you're cooking. So you ready? Are you ready to get cooking? Let's get cooking. Woo! All right, wow, look at this. So today is the Thai beef salad, the one that got the girl. That's what we're cooking here. So I've chosen beef. Let's just talk about the protein. Remember, number one, protein is what we want. So I purchased this bad boy, right? This is a fillet, all right? This is the fillet, which means it sits down the back end of the cow. It doesn't do much in the cow when you think about it. So it's not going to, it's, as you can see, it's extremely lean. That's good, right? When we're talking about premium protein, when we're talking about the protein that we want the best quality, all right? And we're only going to have smaller amounts. You don't need much. Remember, we don't need much. Gone are the days of thinking that you need a 250, 500 gram steak, although that is yummy, and I would take the 1 kilo challenge if someone gave it to me. However, fit food for the fat dude, right? This fillet, nice and lean, all the surface fat, so you can clean all the surface fat off, and then we can have, and it's beautifully tender, right? So, because it doesn't do much. It's not like a rump, but you think about rump steak, that would be a great alternative as well. So this one, remember, we're going to work on about 100 to 120 grams of protein per person. All right, I'm going to slow things down because I get very excited about food. Do I need to shrink? Maybe I just need to bump that camera up just a touch. I'm going to do that.
Turn it up a touch.
But I want you to see everything, right? So how's everyone going? Okay. Okay, let's do that. Oh, Tanya Shepherd's on. Hi, Tanya Shepherd. Right, so talking about beautiful lean cut of meat, and we're only going to have small bits, so it's not going to take much time to cook, but this is the essence of it all right? So making sure that you have a good quality product. You don't need much of it. You don't, like I said, you don't need a big Scotch fillet. You just need nice slices, and then we're going to be able to make the salad. All right, so tools that you're going to need. Sharp knife. All right, that goes without saying. Now, I've brought this bad boy out again. All right, my little ninja. This is just such a handy, compact, small thing that I can do. And if I was in Thailand, I would be sitting with a mortar and pestle, right? And I'd be bashing away at my paste, which we're going to make, which is going to be the all-in of this dish. It's the secret is in the paste. But you know what? Over the years of me bashing the mortar and pestle, and I do have one, but I know that when I watch things like this, if you don't have a mortar and pestle, you sort of think to yourself, I'm dead in the water. That's it. I can't cook that. I need one of those mortar and pestles. Well, food processor, blender, whatever you need, we're going to be able to get all the flavour and everything out of it doing the same job, okay? So I've got that. Anything else? I've got my grill. I've got my grill plate. I'm going to be grilling off that meat right at the last minute. We're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes, and that's it. It's going to be beautiful, tender, melt in your mouth steak. So really what it comes down to is then our ingredients, all right? So when you think Thai, when you start, casting your vision around Thai, Asian cuisine, those sort of things, what are the flavors that you start to think about? Right, well, I immediately think chili, right? We're going to have some spice, we're going to have some heat to it. So Thais are really, the fundamentals is hot, sour, salty, sweet. Those four things, those four components are going to make up the perfect Thai. All right, and it's the balance, it's the marriage of finding those four different things across the board that are really going to be a successful Asian cuisine. All right, so we've got our heat, these bad boys, bird's eye chilies. You also find little scud ones, right? They are hot, all right? So the heat is in the seeds. So you make sure that when we're preparing this, when we put a couple of chilies in it, take the seeds out. And I'll show you a quick way to get the seeds out. All right, I'm also starting to think like peanuts. I'm thinking coriander. Now, love it or hate it, I know some of you out there cannot stand coriander. It is a beautiful herb. You got to fall back in love with it, right? And I know some people are like, if you're in America, it's cilantro. You would know one of it, but I know for a fact that our daughter Paris, just so happens to be sitting behind the camera, she absolutely cannot stand coriander. So I would not win that, but I definitely know the way to Samantha's heart. So coriander, we're thinking coconut, we're thinking lychees, I'm thinking mojitos. No, we're probably not thinking of mojitos in the salad, but that flavour, that mintiness, the basil, those sort of things are going to make up your salad, right? So when we start looking at the breadth of what we've got in terms of this Thai cuisine, let's make the paste. All right, because this is going to be where all the flavours are going to meander through the salad. It's going to cover the meat. It's going to be an absolute symphony of flavours. So to begin, I'll show you a couple of tips as well. A couple of quick tips and tricks that you can do to shortcut your food. Right. So we're going to start with the basics. All right. Garlic is fundamental in so many. So to peel that, I'm just going to give it a quick whack, and then that skin just comes straight off. So I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic. In fact, I might make double the recipe, but I'm going to give you the recipe as we sort of go through, so you can make it. We're going to base it on 4 people again. All right, so you can stick it with your family, And you can feed 4 people, so obviously if you're going to feed more, if you're going to do this as a dinner party, this is a beautiful food for dinner parties. All right, so I've got 2 garlic cloves in there. I'm going to do a little bit more because I just love it, right? And I know that once Sammy gets her hands into this, there'll be hell to pay. She'll be all over it. Right, so 2 cloves of garlic for you playing at home. That's going to do enough for 4 people, okay? 2 cloves of garlic. But remember, we're going to start thinking about flavour here. We're thinking about putting everything into it now. I'm going to put that in my little bowl. Right, next we need some shallots. All right, these little bad boys here. You'll find those. All right, so these little onions, they're sweet. There's a sweetness to them. Right, if you don't have these onions, you can use red onions. I probably wouldn't use brown onions, okay, because we're starting to get into a little bit of more of a acidity with those onions. So I'm going to put 2 shallots in as well. All right, so again, remember, I'm just putting these straight into our little blender here. And again, if you want mortar and pestle, right, this is how you would start. You would put your garlic and your shallots, and then you'd throw in some salt. The salt creates the abrasion for the mortar and pestle just to be pounding away. You can imagine, in the Thai streets driving along, you can see the ladies like sitting there with their mortar and pestle making all their curry pastes and all that wonderful stuff. Next, we're going to do some ginger. All right, so this, man, how many people get frustrated with ginger? And you get these big, how do I peel the ginger? And I'm like, ow, you're cutting yourself, you're doing crazy things with this. Put this down. Here's the trick. This peel with a spoon. You just get the ginger and you can just...
Can I just ask a question?
Shoot.
Why have I, whenever I've cooked in our house, have always used a potato peeler, and you have never said to me, Sam, use a spoon?
Because you'd never asked, Sammy. Do you know what happens? I want to tell you what happens in our kitchen, right? First of all, Sammy never comes into it.
Yes, I do.
And secondly, right, so look at that. I've just peeled that ginger with a spoon. You just get the spoon and just scrape it off, right? Remember, there's not much to ginger on the skin. There's not too much skin to get through. So now I've got a perfectly nice big knob of ginger. I'm just going to whack that in. Look, about 2.5 centimetres of ginger, okay? That's what you want. Now, getting back to Sammy, well, she does a great baked beans on toast, let me tell you, all right? If it's a way to the man's heart, it's baked beans on toast with melted cheese. I haven't seen you do much ginger work, all right? But anyway, okay. So we're thinking garlic, ginger, now, and we want the sweetness of the onion, so that's going to create our base. Lemongrass, all right? Lemongrass, easy peasy, lemongrass squeezy. So I'm just going to take the ends off them. I've got 2 of these little stalks of lemongrass, and I just want you to, as soon as you cut this, this is the beautiful thing about Thai, all this Asian cuisine, this Thai food. Oh, it's just so potent.
Olivia is asking,
yes.
Talk
to me, Olivia.
The best way to store ginger?
Oh, you can put it in the freezer, you can put it out, you can put it in the fridge, wherever you want to store it. Is that a trick question? Olivia, do you have a great way to store ginger? If you know, tell me, let me know. All right? But I would just...
There's no big thing to it, is there?
There's no real big thing. It's just a root, like you just want to, treat it like it's a root. Okay? So speaking of roots, we're going to go across to their little partner, all right, which is galangal. It's similar to a turmeric, it looks a bit like a turmeric or a ginger, but it has that unique fragrance about it that you find in all Thai cuisine. All right, so I'm just going to chop that up. I'm going to give my little ninja a helping hand, but I'm just going to chop up again 4 centimetre. You can find this in any supermarket. All right, so now look. So what have we got now? Mortar and pestle, aka ninja. Ginger, garlic, lemongrass. Okay, those 3 things. Eschalots, or these little shallots here, these little onions, nice sweetness to it. And then it's time to add some heat. We've got some galangal in there as well. All right. This is all up to your own interpretation, all right? So how many chilies you want. So let's just cut these. I'm going to put 3, 4. I love heat. Right, Sammy? She loves heat.
You can probably adjust that, can't you, if you don't like chilies?
If you want, you can, remember, play full out in this. If you don't want too much heat, don't put too many chilies in. So again, I get my spoon and I get my chili and I just push the seeds away. All right, I just push them away, and there it is. I just push them away. All right, so you don't have to go crazy with knives or anything. I just push the seeds away. Make sure you push them all out of the way. And I'm just using one little finger. Why? Well, you'll know about it when you touch yourself in your eyes or wherever else. If you're scratching yourself later and you've got chili on your fingers, you'll definitely know what time it is. So, especially in the eyeballs, okay? So, let's just scrape all these chili seeds away. And there are my beautiful chilies going in. And again, easy peasy, right? Easy. How many people, we got any questions? Kaffir lime leaves is next. Kaffir lime leaves, I'm just putting 2 in there. Oh, we used to have a kaffir lime tree. My sister actually got the kaffir lime tree, and we used to go out there all the time. We'd pick the kaffir lime leaves off, and I just love it.
Steve is asking a question. He said he just cooks with the seeds in. Is there a reason not to? And I know the answer to this, but you would know better than
Right, so seeds contain the heat, right? And it's always a gamble if you're putting so much heat in it, and it can just fire you up, and then it basically, you want balance over overcompensating for any of those stages. Remember, it's hot, sour, salty, sweet. But you can put your chili seeds straight in, but I think once you have the intensity in there and it may be overpowering, well, unless you're eating it by yourself.
Chili seeds are the heat.
They're the heat.
So you can put the chili in without the seeds and it's a bit more mild.
Correct,
Every
Sammy.
time you add the seeds into the chili, you are taking it up a degree or 10.
Oh, words straight out of my mouth. Look at that. Sammy is all over it. Now, last but not least, we need the sweetness. Okay, so again, we're going to use, I'm using brown sugar, all right? But I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. You can use palm sugar. Palm sugar, I mean, it goes hand in hand with Thai cuisine. But if you don't have palm sugar, sometimes I don't want you to think so lavishly about you have to go to a specialty grocer just to get this, to be able to cook something like this. You can do this right from just your local supermarket, right? So fish sauce. All right, so again, it's the conversation around the fish sauce. I'm thinking 3 tablespoons, okay, of fish sauce. You want it to be salty, sweet, hot and sour, okay? So this is where the sourness comes from, and a little bit of soy sauce just to season it all up. Right, that is one last thing to go. Are we all following along? Everyone's got their pens and paper? This, coriander. What I'm going to do is I've actually got the full plant here, and I'm going to take the roots. I'm going to take the roots off. I'm going to take the coriander roots, and I'm going to put them into the paste. So much flavor, an abundance of flavor in the roots. And remember, again, it's one of those fine herbs, right? So it's not like rosemary or thyme or something that's really such a hardy herb. Coriander is quite fragrant, quite fine. So right, so next, that's it. Anything else going in? I'm putting some olive oil just to moisten the life up. Sammy, any questions?
Not yet.
Excellent.
Just watching.
Right, everyone's like leaning in. All right, I forgot and this is a quick tip for you. I forgot my most important ingredient: limes. Right, so how do you get the most? Here's a question for you. I'm going to throw it out for the chat. How do I get most of the juice out of here? How do I make sure that I'm getting my maximum amount of juice out of these limes? Anyone? Do you just get the lime and just give that a good squeeze? Here it comes. All right, I'm going to put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. I'm just going over to my microwave.
I never knew that. Here's another tip you didn't tell me while I was squeezing the limes, trying to get juice out.
Well, I like to see you suffer in silence sometimes, right? So.
The next time I put lime on your beans on toast.
Right, so that's what's going to be it. So I'm spending a lot of time on this because this is really, I mean, the beef will do what the beef is supposed to do, which is going to add texture, flavor. If you're a vegetarian, you can do this with tofu. This is also going to be vegan friendly, right? Omit the fish sauce, but you can see that there's so much vegetarian goodness here. There's so much vegan goodness here. There's so much, that flavor in it that you don't necessarily need to go crazy on the protein. All right. On the meat or whatever, so tofu would be able to work as well. So or fish, beautiful. This is a beautiful fish as well. So I put that in there for 30 seconds, and I get so much more juice out of just one lime.
Why
Right?
is that?
Well, it just breaks down the cell walls, I would say, and as a result, I get so much more out of it. So beautiful. Oh. All right. I mean, if you're sitting there at home and you're watching this, I wish you could smell this, right? So here I go. Put it on, and I'm just going to let that go for. Remember, there's a lot of root in there, so there's a lot of lemongrass that has to be broken down. There's a lot of the ginger, the galangal. These things have to take time to break down, right? So we're going to let that go for a little bit longer. And then we're going to just assemble this, and you're going to watch very quickly. You can see that all the time and energy is put into this being absolutely spot on, all right? And once you have this, that you have the makings of an amazing dish. Right, let's have a quick taste. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for hot, sour, salty, sweet. Whoo! Sammy J! You're lucky I took that seeds out. So I'm going to put just a little touch more brown sugar into that. But that is sensational. This is, like I said to you, I'm going to finish up, and I'm just going to finish up the other half a tablespoon. So if you're writing the recipe down, put 2 tablespoons of your sugar in. And again, just going to whip that up. Beautiful. Oh, one of my dreams is to just travel through Thailand, Sammy. So, once we finish with all these kids, let's get in a tuk-tuk and travel to Thailand. All right. That is a winner chicken dinner.
Can I
Okay.
taste it?
You can come and taste it, Sammy, if you would like. I thought you were working.
Yeah, I'm working, but I definitely want to taste it. You said it was so good.
All right, so just over there. Here we go. Taste test for the Sammy G.
Let me have a taste.
Let me just clean up while you're here.
Oh, that's delicious.
Delicious. Okay. So remember, this is our base. So now we get to play around with the salad. All right. Now we get to play around with all the other ingredients, all the other things that are going to make it so special. All right. So I'm going to slice up my beef, and I've just cleaned up a bit. Just let me just dip in. Okay. So I got about 500 grams of meat. That's going to be more than enough. So if I just divvy this up, and we just cut it nice slice. All right. Beautiful steaks, but they don't have to be, you don't have to have so much for one person. I think that's that illusion when we talk about portion control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a little bit left over. That's the chef's bit, okay? So I'm just going to butterfly that like we did with the chicken, and we can turn that into another steak as well. Right, so I'm going to start cooking our meat, and then I'm just going to assemble the salad. Right, I'm going to turn up the heat on that. As you can see, beautiful steaks. You can serve it, one for the ladies, one for the kids. We're going to season up. So I've got salt on there. And again, I'm just going to put on the olive oil before I move it to the grill, so I don't have to do the grill. And again, I've just used 1 to 2 tablespoons of the olive oil. Again, if this was tofu steaks or anything like that, you can definitely utilize this same recipe with vegetarian options, all right, in terms of your protein. As you can see, there's nothing else going on in here other than the fish sauce. If you get crazy with the fish sauce, happy days. I'm just going to get a quick bowl so I can mix my salad up. All right, getting that grill nice and hot. All right, so we want that thing smoking. When you put the meat on, you want it to sear and seal straight away. All right, so we want to make sure that this is hot. I have put it on before we started. So I'm going to cook my steaks, lay them down. Oh, lunch is looking lovely, ladies. So I'm just going to season the other side while it's on there. And again, just a little drop just to season and lubricate the grill. Whoa, everyone cooking at home? All right, so I'll cook them again, but let's now, while they're cooking, because the steak takes what, 6 minutes all up, and you'll get a perfect steak. All right, so let's now assemble the salad. This is the one that got the girl. So instead of leaves, I want you to start thinking about herbs, as this could possibly be your leaves. All right, so I'm just going to pick some of the basil leaves. All right, instead of just going, oh, I'm going to have lettuce. Let's just go all out and just say, let's just have herbs, all right? So let's just have a whole load of basil. So I'm going to just pick a few there, right? What else brings us back? Mojitos, mint. This takes us straight to Asia. I'm traveling along the Taiwanese roads. I can smell the mint. Everyone's got their own mint, and I'm going to go a nice big bunch of mint as well, all right? So these are going to be our leaves. So when you think salad leaves, don't worry about mesclun and, I'm going to need some cos lettuce on top of that. This is going to be superb. All right, and then last but not least, I'm going to throw in a couple of coriander stems. I like the stems. I like the length of it. I like as I said, the whole coriander bush can be used. So, perfect. Right, so that is our leaves of our salad. That's to start off. Now I want to start thinking about, I'm going to start thinking about my tongs for a start. I know where they are. So now I'm going to start thinking about texture. I want the Thai beef salad, a lot of texture. People eat they want different mouthfeel. You don't want just something to feel one way. You want so much texture. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some bean shoots. All right, that's going to add color, and it's going to add some fiber, and it's going to add some texture as well. All right, so I'm just going to remember, you're cooking with your eyes here. You're cooking with your eyes. So next, I'm going to put in some of these beautiful tomatoes, these beautiful golden tomatoes, and I'm just going to chop them in half. Remember, everything is nice and fresh, fast. As you can see, the beef, again, you can do this at a barbecue. You can do this on the run. This is really where the work is, okay, as you can see, and there's not much work involved. So it's nice and easy. I'm just going to flip those steaks over. Oh, they've got lovely colour on it from the grill. And again, change up your barbecue. All right, so I've also got a couple of radish here to add a little bit of texture again, some nice colour. All right, don't try this at home. All right, took me years. So I'm just going to sprinkle them in, right, while my meat is cooking. As you can see now, we've got green, we've got white, we've got red, we've got yellow in there. So now we're going to just keep moving along. I've got some beautiful roasted peanuts, right? So these were unsalted, and I just roasted them off beforehand in the oven. Perfect, right? Add crunch, it adds that depth, it adds that nuttiness, that beautiful flavor. Next, I'm going to put some lychees in it. All right, so if anyone, when you think of lychee, think rose water. Think Turkish delight sort of flavor. Think of that sort of, and I just come around and I just move that, and I twist and I just pop it off, and there we go. I'm going to throw them in. That is going to be absolutely beautiful on this beef. As you know, like I said, this is the one that got the girl. It's the weight of the woman's heart, right? So I'm just breaking up this lychees. Move those seeds over. I'm going to put one more of those lychees in. These are this explosion of flavour. So now when you start to think about it, you can start to start to think differently about your salads, right? So at the moment, wow, we've got all this colour in here, all this texture, all these different things happening in our mouthfeel. It's going to be an absolutely amazing dish. So to finish off, right, our friend the cucumber, instead of chopping this up and like thinking to yourself, you know, I've just got these big chunks of Greek salad, I'm just going to use my peeler and I'm just going to use some cucumber ribbons, all right, because just for display, it also, as you can see, it's just going to create such an amazing dish. There we go. A few more of those in. Oh, that is looking absolutely amazing. Right, so the meat is starting to come just to the end. I'm going to flip one more time, just let that finish up, and then I'm going to leave that just to rest. Let your meat, when you're cooking red meat, let it rest. Let it rest. Now, I believe two more ingredients. All right, 2 more ingredients for our salad. I found these bad boys today when we're at the shop. When we're shopping for this, Thai would never be complete without coconut. All right, so we just found a little coconut. We split that up, and I've just shaved some of the coconut, and we're just going to put that straight in to our salad as well. And again, remember, this is all about just thinking about all the flavours that when you think Thai food, what does it remind you of? The coconut curries, you know, and that may be like, it may just be too much for your fit food at this time to be cooking curries. And then to finish off, a bit more texture, I've got some roasted onions, roasted shallots, which is basically what we have cooked with our paste. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle this over. All right. This is we're going to plate up. So I've just got this beautiful paste, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to spread it onto our beef as well. All right, just let that heat up, let all the flavours melt into the meat. All right, so let me just clean up, and I'm gonna plate up for you, and we are done like a beef salad dinner. So let me just clean all this stuff up. It gets a bit crazy when you're mixing up all the salads. This is Sammy's favourite part of the dish, and that is to clean up.
Steve is asking for the coconut flavour. Use
Yes.
coconut oil for cooking the steaks, maybe instead of coconut. That's a question.
If you want, you can put coconut oil. As you can see, there's not much emphasis in the oil in the dish, right? So I would be more inclined to want to eat the coconut. So that's why I've put the coconut into the salad, because you get more of the coconut sort of texture as well. But look, Steve, this is the beautiful thing about cooking, is that you get to be the boss, right? So I'm just mixing up now. I'm going to mix, I've mixed the salad up last minute. All right, and I've dressed it last minute. Now I'm going to get my plate. Oh, perfect. Now, start thinking about, right, if you're having friends over for dinner, start thinking about different ways to prepare this. Imagine, this could be just like a share meal, all right? You can serve this with rice. You can serve it however you want it. You can serve it as an entree. You can serve it as an accompaniment. You can serve it however you want it to go, all right? But I would like to serve it in a bowl. Right, so let's just get our meat first of all, and I like to put this on the bottom. All right, so you could do this as like a platter or a share plate. You put that right in the center, right? So imagine you have a nice big long plate and just put all your beef slices. If there's 8 of you, there's 1 beef each, and then I think this is where the game is, right? So the salad is on top, right? So I'm gonna put a little bit of each, right? So just imagine everyone's just gonna get a chunk of everything. Okay, now I'm going to dress it with all our bits in here. Make sure that there's enough of everything to go around. We've got lovely colours, as you can see. It's all happening. It's all just starting to marry together. Get a couple of these ribbons, right? And just sort of dress it up. Remember, as soon as you sit down, you want to think to yourself, oh my gosh, I am in a Thai restaurant, right, in Asia. I'm not just sitting in my house somewhere, but look at this. This is what dreams are made of, right? This is the dish that gets the girls. If you want to know how to get the girls, if you want to know how to get well, I got the Sammy. This is the dish. This is what she came home to. She's like, oh wow, you're mine. I'm yours forever, right? And I've got a little chili for garnish. I've got my little radish flour that I've made, right? So just ahead of time. And this, my friends, is the dish of the day. This is a Thai beef salad. This is going to be well within your calorie range. There's not much to it in terms of you think about where the calories are. It's in the beef. The beef is going to be your main source of protein. Then we've got all these amazing flavors, and this is going to fill you up. There's so much beautifulness in terms of this spice, of this dressing. However,
you need to take that up to the camera.
I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna come to you, and I'm gonna show you everything that's happening here, right? So you can see for yourself, and then voila! All right, coming up to you. This is it right here. Can you see, Sammy G?
It's a bit of a lag. You're
Okay.
just walking around the back of the kitchen.
Okay, here we go. There it is, right there. Thai beef salad. Thai beef salad served for the woman of your dreams. This is the dish that gets the girls. And this is a dish that you can have whenever you want. All right, as you know, once you've created that dressing, the beef is very easy. Just slice and cook. It's done. It doesn't need much fussing around with it. All the flavor is in that salad. All that flavor. And remember that the salad can be totally up to you. Totally up to you. Totally wherever you want to take it, right? You want to take the coriander out? Take the coriander out. Maybe go away from Thailand there, right? But coriander, the basil, the mint, the herb, the herbaceous salad, and then all the texture, right? You think about the crunch. You've got the fried shallots, you've got the peanuts in there, you've got all the different things happening, the radish, and then you've got that softness of the cucumber to mellow out the fire. And this is, I believe, one of the award-winning dishes. All right, and it does get the girl. Any other questions? Feel free to comment or text us or message us on the page. Share with us, and most importantly, get out there and give it a crack. Give it a go. Right? Cook the meal. Share with us. Make sure you tag us in it so we can cheer you on and we can see what you're doing in terms of cooking fit food that's going to take you into 2019. So this is Brett, Fit Food with the Fat Dude, saying a fantastic day and eat well.